Act 43. Granny Lu visits the Rong mansion for the third time. Time: spring of the 19th year of the Red Chamber. Location: Rongwa Mansion. Character: Wang Shifeng, Pinga, Granny Lu, Xiao Ge, Qing'er, and several maidservants. Character profile card. Name: Jia Xiaojie. Gender: female. Nicknames: Xiao Ge, Big Sister, Niu Niu, Big Niu Niu. Identity: daughter of Wang Shifeng and Jia Lian. Personality: sweet and charming. Grandparents: Jia Shi, Lady Xing. Father: Jia Lian. Mother: Wang Shifeng. Because her birthday is on the 7th day of the 7th month, Wang Shifeng thought it wasn't a good day and asked Granny Lu to name her. Granny Lu named her Xiao Ge. Since the Jia family was raided, the 5,000 or 6,000 taels of silver that Aunt Feng had secretly saved up were suddenly spent, making her feel heartbroken. More importantly, all the shady things she had done in the past were exposed, causing her reputation to plummet. Previously, with grandmother Zhao around, she had someone to rely on and others dare not speak out against her. But now that grandmother Zhao is gone, Aunt Feng's power has naturally diminished. Even the maidservants are starting to ignore her, gradually treating her as insignificant. That day, Wang Shifeng had been busy for days with Granny Jia's funeral. By the afternoon, her voice was hoarse, so she found a place to take a rest. At that moment, a little maid ran up to her and said, "So, Madame Feng is here." "No wonder," Madame said. "There are too many people inside. I can't take care of them all. Madame Feng must be hiding and enjoying herself." Wang Shifeng was already feeling wronged because of the recent setbacks, but now hearing these words, she was even more angry. Suddenly, her vision went black and she actually spat out a mouthful of blood. Pinga rushed to her side to support her and had someone report to Mrs. Xing and Mrs. Wang. By the time Mrs. Wang and the others arrived, Wang Shifeng had lost all color in her face and was unresponsive. Only then did everyone quickly go to summon a doctor for treatment. On this day, Aunt Feng was feeling drowsy and disoriented. In a daze, she even saw her deceased niece-in-law, Qin Keqing. Qin Keqing walked up to Aunt Feng and said, "Auntie, you are the heroine among women, even surpassing those men in power. But how come you don't even know a few common sayings? It is often said that when the moon is full, it wanes. When the water is full, it overflows, and also climbing high must come a heavy fall. The Jia family has been prestigious for nearly a century. Isn't it approaching the moment of excessive joy leads to sorrow?" Wang Shifeng was about to ask Qin Keqing if there was any way to save the situation when she saw Sister Yu'er, who had been killed by her, also approaching. Sister Yu'er said, "Sister, it's been a long time since we last met. I have missed you very much, but I couldn't see you. Now I can finally see you." Wang Shifeng said absent-mindedly, "Now I also regret deeply. My sister doesn't hold on to past grudges, yet still comes to see me." Pinga listened to Wang Shifeng murmuring to herself on the side and quickly woke her up, asking her what she was saying. Wang Shifeng immediately became clear-headed, feeling a moment of fear in her heart, but she was unwilling to reveal what she had dreamed about just now, only reluctantly saying, "I must have been unstable in spirit and talking in my sleep." At this moment, a little maid came in to report that Granny Lu had arrived, and the women were leading her to pay respects to the second madam. She was already here, but was too afraid to come in. Pinga thought to herself that since Madame Feng had become ill like this, she probably didn't want to see anyone, so she planned to decline. However, Wang Shifeng heard this and said, Someone has come from far away to visit me out of kindness. I can't be indifferent. Pinger, go out and invite Mrs. Lu in. While I have some energy right now, I can talk to her. Before long, Granny Lu let her granddaughter Qinger in and said, "Greetings, Auntie." Fengjie opened her eyes and recalled the 2 previous visits of Granny Lu, feeling somewhat sad. She said, "Is Granny Lu doing well? Why did you only come now? Look, my daughter Xiao Ge is already this big." Old Lady Lu looked at Madame Feng, who was thin and haggard, with a vacant expression, and couldn't help but feel sad. She sighed, "Oh, my grandmother, it has only been a few months since we last met. How did you become so ill? It's my fault for being careless. I should have come earlier to pay my respects to my sister-in-law." As she spoke, she pulled her granddaughter Qinger over and asked her to greet Madame Feng. Qinger was even younger than Banner, standing aside with a smile. Madame Feng looked at her with great affection and instructed Xiao Hong to take care of her. Wang Shifeng and Grandma Lu had a conversation, suddenly asking, "Did Aunt Zhao also pass away, do you know?" Old Mrs. Lu said in surprise, "Amit Ba, how could this person die? I remember she still has a brother named Huaner. What should we do?" Pinger interjected, "Huaner, as well as Master and Madam, are here too." Grandma Lu sighed and said, "Girl, you don't understand. It's all about blood ties. If it's not actually related by blood, it's no good." After Wang Shifeng listened, she felt even more uncomfortable, crying with sobs. Xiao Ge, who was beside her, saw her mother cry sadly, hurriedly went up to hold her hand, and also started crying. Wang Shifeng cried as she pulled Xiao Ge over, saying, "Have you greeted Grandma? Come and pay your respects quickly. Your name was also given by Grandma, just like godmothers." Old Mrs. Lu hurriedly said, "Please don't kill me. Kind-hearted girl, do you still recognize me?" Qiao nodded and said, "Why don't you remember? When we met in the Grandview Garden that time, I was still young. When you came over the year before last, I mentioned that I wanted grasshoppers for the following year, but you didn't give them to me." Grandma Lu hurriedly said, "Good girl, it's my old foolishness. Grasshoppers are plentiful in our rural areas." Wang Shifeng suddenly said, "Otherwise, you can take her." Old Lady Lu quickly said, "The girl is a valuable person. What can we offer her in our place? Please don't harm me." Wang Shifeng talked to Grandma Lu for a while again. Ping Er worried that Grandma Lu was bothering Fengjie and was afraid that she would speak without restraint and upset Fengjie. So Ping Er took the opportunity to take Grandma Lu out for tea. Not long after, Madame Feng fell ill, and Ping Er and others were scared and began to cry. When Mrs. Lu heard the commotion, she hurried to Fengjie's bedside. Mrs. Lu kept muttering something and gesturing with her hands, and with her actions, Madame Feng actually showed some improvement. After a while, Madame Feng sent everyone else away, leaving only Mrs. Lu. Madame Feng then shared with Mrs. Lu her uneasiness and dreams about the deceased sister Yu Er and asked her to pray for her at the temple. She took off the gold bracelet from her wrist and handed it to Mrs. Lu as she spoke. Old Lady Lu hurriedly pushed back and said, "Miss, there is no need for this. In our village, when people make offerings to the gods, if they recover, they just need to spend a few hundred copper coins. I will make an offering on your behalf. If you get better in the future, whatever you want to offer, you can do it yourself." Wang Shifeng knew that Grandma Lu was well-intentioned, so she didn't force herself, left the gold bracelet, and then cried and said, "Grandma, I leave my life in your hands. If I die, take care of Xiao Ge for me." Grandma Lu agreed to leave Qinger temporarily at the Jia mansion and busied herself with going out of the city to pray to the gods for Madame Feng. Unfortunately, Grandma Lu's prayers and offerings to the gods couldn't cure the illness or save Feng's life. When she returned from the countryside, Madame Feng had already passed away. After Madame Feng's funeral, Jia Huan and Wang Ren began to plot to sell Xiao Ge. Pinger disguised Xiao Ge and, along with her, secretly left the Rongbua mansion with Grandma Lu to return to the countryside. Until later, after the storm passed, Ningguo Mansion and Rongbua Mansion were pardoned and the confiscated properties were returned. Grandma Lu then sent Xiao Ge back to Rongbua Mansion and arranged a marriage for her with a wealthy boy named Zhou from the village, who was elegant and handsome. At only 14 years old, he had already become a successful candidate in the imperial examinations. Jia Zheng and Jia Lian both agreed to the marriage.